What's going on, Jeromes? Happy beautiful Saturday out there, everyone, everywhere. Firing up Q&A. It's been a hot second, so let's dive on in. Christopher Tucker, do you think the traits of Bijan are strong enough as a Swiss Army knife to make him a high-end, high to mid-first rounder, even though running back in first round, not normally taken that high anymore? Yes. I think Bijan is special. I think that his traits in the open field, him being elusive, him as a receiver, I think that he has a chance to be a special player in this league. I think that the smaller, I won't say smaller, but LaDainian Tomlinson adjacent, Le'Veon Bell adjacent, I think the comparisons are certainly apt, and I think that he's going to go higher than people think. Jack Buttram, if you could take any year of a three-phase offense, defense, special teams and combine them to make a Vikings team, what would be your best combo? So I'll take the 98 Vikings offense. Defensively, so this is before my time, but a lot of older Vikings fans say that 75, the cheating Drew Pearson team had the best defense. So I'll take that year. And special teams, when the Vikings had peak Cordero and peak Marcus Sherrills as the two return guys, I'll take that. But also I think Blair Walsh was in there too. So I don't know, man. Danny Dush, what is your best single advice for investing? Also, what is one pivotal piece of educational literature on investing? So, advice for investing, don't try to outsmart the market. There's people who are much smarter than you and I and have lots more money than you and I, and they still can't do it. So, you're not automatically going to find, you're just not magically going to find the answer. So, I would say invest. I always tell people, put their money in mutual funds. So find a good mutual fund and that suits your taste for if you want to be aggressive or conservative, and just pile in there. I generally like index funds, whether it's Schwab or Invesco or Vanguard. I generally spread things out because I used to be more of an active trader. I'm really not anymore, but just pile driving money into those index funds, I think it's going to be really smart. Pivotal piece of educational literature on investing. I should say an intelligent investor type book, but I've actually found that biographies of investors really go a long way for me. Whether it's work ethic, whether it's lifestyle choices, whether it's Warren Buffett or Charlie Munger or Charles Schwab. Things like that. So that's why I gravitate towards, and I just like biographies of successful people in general. So that's what I do drift towards. But also, Dave Ramsey, whether you're in debt or not, Dave Ramsey's My Total Money Makeover, just the basics, the absolute rock solid basics of getting out of debt, staying out of debt, and investing portions of your income. And he always advocates for mutual funds. He really does not like single stocks. So just basic things like that, because at the end of the day, compound interest is one of the great wonders of the world, and make it work for yourself versus working for the banks and credit card companies. Next up, Skull Vikes 2005. Thoughts on Liverpool this season? They're shite. That defense is in tatters. Van Dijk is gone. Mo Salah is gonna get transferred on a free, and they just don't have that same attitude. And I said it at the time, getting rid of Sadio Mane was a bad move. Yeah, he's older, but he just brought an attitude and a spark to the team that they just don't have. And I think that they may have stuck around with players too long, because Van Dijk is done. Jordan Henderson, captain, I think he's certainly done. Milner's done. So there has to be a complete upheaval. This team is probably going to have to be gutted. I think that there may be an outside shot that they still make the Champions League. I doubt it, but who knows? Also, I'm really going to miss Bobby Firmino. I think he's one of my favorite players. Also, in my opinion, Cam Smith is so underrated that he should be a top 20 pick. Opinion, do you agree? I agree to a degree. Maybe not top 20. I could easily see him as a first round pick. I think that he has a lot of traits overlap with a guy like JPJ, Joy Porter Jr. But yeah, I think Cam Smith sneaking in the first round wouldn't be crazy. Abdul, 1984. What do you think about Stetson Bennett? Kid's a winner. I don't know if he has the arm talent to succeed in the NFL. And also, his off the field stuff, sure. Older prospect, yes. Some size issues, yes. But I don't know. Like, a team's going to take a 6th or 7th round flyer on him. And could he be, Brock Purdy adjacent? Sure. Why not? 2, if the Vikings would go for Zach Wilson or Mac Jones, who would you prefer? Zach Wilson. I think that his upside is higher. And I don't know, for whatever reason, things just aren't working out with Mac Jones attitude-wise. Kong Cheng Vang. If we do trade Dalvin Cook before during the draft, do you really think Alexander Madison can carry the load, or would you want us to draft a running back? If so, who? I think it would be like more of a running back by committee. I do believe in Ty Chandler in year 2. I think that he could be a special player. But also drafting a running back does make sense. I really do like... who do I like? So I like Eric Gray out of Oklahoma. I think he could be this year's Isaiah Pacheco. I like Tajay Spears, of course, from Tulane. I think there's a handful of running backs in this class. Maybe not bell cow guys, so maybe not Bajan, but guys that can fill a role, fill a niche in terms of running back by committee. Yes. Miles, deep down, which quarterback do you want to see in 2024 playing as starter for the Vikings? Anthony Richardson, because if you're going to gamble, may as well gamble big, baby. Connor Keck, best advice for content creators. Keep grinding and just keep making content. It's like, so one of my favorite books of all time is Stephen Pressfield, who wrote Gates of Fire, fantastic author, but he wrote a writing book. Actually, he wrote this writing book relatively early in his career called The War of Art, and it's basically about writing for the trash can and how creative people are always going to have resistance and forces pushing against them, whether it's laziness, whether it's procrastination, whether it's writer's block, whatever. Just keep creating. Like, always keep publishing, keep getting after it, and it doesn't matter if your video gets 0 views or 2 views, and eventually your video will get 10 views, and you'll be ecstatic. Eventually your video will get 100 views, you'll be ecstatic, then 1,000, then 10,000, then whatever. Just keep shooting, and also be true to yourself. Like, don't chase trends, don't just make clickbait, even though we make clickbait sometimes. But yeah, I'll always be authentic with what you're presenting. FJB. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a 6? A Woods TV. Besides his age, why do you think Jaren Hall isn't getting any recognition? That's a really good question. I think Jaren Hall has maybe not as impressive of a career as Zach Wilson at BYU, but it's up there. Maybe height, maybe age is working against them, but I really like Jaren Hall a lot, man. I absolutely love him. Danny Miss Uria. Are you going to make your own big board before the draft school? I mean, we could. It's basically the only thing we haven't done so far. Possibly. Sticks 27. What are your goals for future job, life, everything? Future job? I don't know. So day job's going well. This side hustle's going well. Would like to do more travel content. And so things that I love the most. Traveling, having some beverages, and going out to dinner and getting sushi, especially. Like, if I can make a career around that, TBD. It's work in progress, man. Life, I don't know. Kids be happy, have a good childhood, aren't overly spoiled, face a little bit of resistance in life, have to overcome some things, get a good education, or get into a good trade, whatever they specifically want to do, and then just have a good life. And that's it. Jonathan Payton, trade up for Richardson, or for a second I was thinking Trent Richardson. I was like, what are we doing? Or Stroud at 3, yes or no? I like Stroud a lot, but if you're going to move up that far, let's swing for the fences, man. Let's go Richardson. Jack Bootram, can the T-Wolves win the series against Joker and the Nuggets? Well, recording this Friday afternoon, so this will be out after the game because we're producing this or posting this on Saturday. So I would say no. But maybe they steal the game tonight. Who knows? Tristan, if Will Levis falls out of the top 10, I say trade for him. Yeesh. Tristan, my draft hot takes. Texans trade 2 second pick. I think that's a possibility at this stage. And Bijan Robinson goes into the top 10. We're in the top 10. Like maybe Atlanta 8. Maybe Eagles at 10. Could see that. John Merck, what quarterbacks are free agents next offseason? I don't know. Like, generally, you're not going to sign a free, like a star quarterback in free agency, like unless Lamar hits free agency next offseason. Kirk was an anomaly. He was like, you could say, like, in all seriousness, in the last 12 years, the best 2 free agent quarterbacks to hit the market are Well, I guess Tom Brady counts too. So the top 3, Brady, Peyton Manning, Colts 2012, and then Kirk Cousins. And that's not hyperbolic. That's legit. Daniel Brugman. Can we stop trying to excuse mediocrity with Minnesota sports? I mean, we can be okay every year, just be in the dance. I want to win. It won't help if we want to have a couple of Vikings years with high draft picks. Young Stroud, Levis, fourth prospect. Nah, one time, no bun Levis. I'm not reading all that. Anyways, yes, I agree, or no, I disagree, and I'm happy that happened, or I'm sorry that happened. One of the two. Michael Converse, I've recently decided that this draft class is below average, and that's putting it generously. Agree or disagree? I agree to the extent that it's bereft of top-end talent in general, but I think that there's certainly a lot of good depth. Like this wide receiver class, I wouldn't say that there's an alpha wide receiver 1, but there's a lot of really good wide receiver 2s and 3s, and that's exactly what the Vikings need. So if you're looking for a wide receiver 1, you're sort of SOL. I think it's a very good cornerback class. I think it's a very good and deep edge class. Off-ball linebacker, I actually think is pretty okay in this class. Quarterbacks, I mean, they have their drawbacks. There's no sure things, but, I mean, there's probably still going to be 5 first-round quarterbacks. This is probably the best tight end class in NFL history. Tackle class is okay. Like, there isn't top-end franchise guys out there, but there's still going to be 3-4 tackles going in the first round. So, it's as a whole, I would say that it's average. Top-end guys, maybe a little bit below average, but in terms of there's going to be a lot of really talented players taken between picks, say, 20 to 100, right? And sure, they may not have first-round grades, but they're guys that will find their way onto a team, will start, and will contribute. So that's where it is. Anyways, that's it. That is this week's Q&A. Thank you for submitting questions. You guys are the best. Skol, production value.